Welcome to another installment of the GEM video training series. My name is Mike Harrington and I'm the Executive Director of GEM, as well as being the team leader for GEM South Africa. Over the last 15 years, I have helped to raise over $1.8 million for our country report and $600,000 for the global report. I would like to share with you how I have systematically gone about doing this and to give you some guidelines to help you in your fundraising. In most cases, GEM teams have difficulty in obtaining money because their institution may not have a central fundraising department, and because raising funds requires a different set of skills which some academics and researchers may not possess. First, you need to prepare a presentation which clearly explains to your potential sponsors why entrepreneurship is important, both to the economy and the well-being of the country. Do not assume that they fully understand this, and you need to explain the reasons for this in layman terms. It is then important to illustrate the need for rigorously designed and structured research, which allows for cross-country comparisons and is harmonized across multiple diverse economies. This is where GEM can supply such research that has been tried and tested over the last 15 years. Your potential sponsor will need to learn more about GEM, and you should give basic information about what is GEM. What does it measure and why? What can GEM do for them? And what outcomes have resulted from the research conducted in other countries? Do not make the mistake of assuming that they are all familiar with GEM and how it operates. Once you have talked about the background of GEM, it may be worthwhile explaining its history and how it measures entrepreneurial activity in a country using the APS and NES questionnaires. It is important to also let them know how many countries are participating in GEM. Before you start to target potential sponsors, it is a good idea to look at one of the recent global reports and ascertain what type of sponsors are used by the national teams around the world. This will give you an insight into whom to approach. This list includes government agencies, both regionally and nationally, large corporations including banks, insurance companies, transportation companies, and retailers, and non-government organizations, to name just a few. You now need to scan the markets in your country and identify specific organizations to approach. These might include research institutions, saving you survey costs, banks, insurance companies, large corporations, SMME development agencies, and NGOs, as well as government organizations and agencies. Once this has been done, you must find someone to refer you to a specific person who has the authority to commit funds to sponsor your institution. Make sure you ask for the contact's name. It is important that you understand your audience. And always remember that funders have different needs, and you need to cater for these. Be succinct and to the point. People have notoriously short attention spans and get a lot of funding requests. Finally, don't pin all your hopes on one single sponsor. Identify as many as you can. An excellent way to start planning who to contact is to fill out a matrix dividing your target market into non-government organizations, government, local organizations, the private sector, individuals, and international organizations. Start by putting names in the center section representing those organizations you think will be most likely to help you, and then move outwards to those less likely until you fill the entire matrix with the names of potential sponsors. Once you have identified who you are going to approach, it is a good idea to make contact with them by making an appointment to see them. Make sure you have a PowerPoint presentation with you and are fully prepared. It is often a good idea not to ask them for the total amount required to sponsor GEM for the year, but rather to divide the amount between 3 or 4 potential funders. It is less for them to commit, and many organizations like to see that other sponsors are also interested in the project. Immediately after the meeting, follow up with a letter detailing what you discussed and what you are looking for and why they should sponsor you. Once you have published your first national report, it is critical that you send press releases out to the media, as the amount of publicity you get is vital to the next secondary stage of your fundraising drive. Choose several aspects which are of interest in your report and write several news releases. The title should be attention-seeking and a little sensational. Otherwise, the media is unlikely to report on your story. Do not release them all at once, but rather spread them out over several months to maintain interest and momentum in the project. I would suggest that you contact newspapers, magazines, the radio and television to get as wide a spread as possible. Additional publicity can be obtained by writing regular articles on entrepreneurship for the media. Make public presentations at every opportunity during Entrepreneurs Week, at the local Chamber of Commerce, and at universities. If you need help, contact Marcia Cole, who is our Special Projects Manager. The final thing you need to do is to prepare a table detailing who you are going to approach, what are their specific needs, how to approach them, and by when. This table is very important, as it is too easy to delay, and then before you know it, you are unable to raise the money, as you may have missed their budget cycles. Do it now. Thank you for listening, and good luck with your fundraising. It is worth it in the long run.